still owe me another. Still owe me another Fussell story.
Oh yes. Which one have I not told though? I told you the one when we first met him.
That's the only one you told me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got like fucking 7 more.
Sweet.
Well, how about, let's see, probably the next craziest thing that happened after the very first time we met him probably wasn't until we started moving up and we actually went to Bliss. I already thought the dude was fucking retarded. And then, or crazy, something was wrong with him. I knew that. That's all I really knew. And then we get to Bliss, and we're standing with McGregor in those tents, and the kid's got a cot next to mine. And like, you never really notice like how weird people are until you gotta live with them all the time. Especially when you gotta sleep right next to the person. Well, we used the plug-in was behind my bed, and that's where he charged his phone at. And so he'd always be like moving my shit to get to his, like to have his phone like in a perfect spot. And like I was like, why the fuck is he moving my shit? So I'd move my shit back and move his cord where it originally was, and then he would wait. It'd be like that until we came back, or until I left, and then when I came back, he would move it. He would wait till I leave every time. This motherfucker, man. One day I come back thinking he's gonna move my shit again, and the son of a bitch is sitting on my bunk, on my pillow. And I walk in, I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And he hops up off his bunk, on my bunk real quick. He's all surprised, and he goes and sits on his bunk. And he's like, oh, we're switching bunks. I was like, no, the fuck we're not. And he's like, oh, I didn't need my phone. I was like, why the fuck are you sitting on my bed? You were sitting on my pillow, dude. And he's like, oh, you ain't gotta give people shit out there like that. You ain't gotta just call people out. I was like, this motherfucker's really trying to get mad at me for him sitting on my pillow. So I sit down and I was like, God damn, dude. I said, don't be fucking sitting on my shit. And just kind of sitting there staring at the ground, like talking to himself, just going, I can see him about to snap. And like, and I was like, God dang, some people's children. And I'm like picking my shit up, and like, you don't really want to harm a retarded kid. That's how I felt. I felt like I was sleeping next to like a mentally challenged person. So I was more like upset that this retard was next to me than what he had done. And like, all of a sudden he goes, I'm not scared of you, Narvaez, you punk bitch. And that kind of made me upset. That kind of like just pushed it over the limit. I kind of stood up and I was like, what the fuck did you just say? And luckily nothing else happened past that. I'd have felt really bad to this day if I'd have beat a retard. But that was really weird, that whole him just like sitting on my bed and stuff, that whole encounter. And that is really what he became kind of like known for after that, was calling me a punk bitch. Narvaez, yeah. And Narvaez not doing anything about it. Narvaez not hitting the retard.
It's because you're a nice guy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Don't hit retards. Your mama raised you right. Fucking fly. Okay, Fussell story.
Okay, so Fussell story. Which one was I gonna tell? God dang it, there's so many that I keep. There was one specific one I was gonna tell this time though. Which one was it? Oh, I know now. So weird. So I've pretty much told him in chronological order almost. I told you the one when we first met him, he acted like a fool. Told him about the one in Bliss where he also acted like a fool. And I'm going to tell you the other time he acted like a fool. He's pretty much a fool. So we're at, we're in Kuwait and we're staying in that big ass fucking building that we all live in, that big tent. And like, I walk outside to go put a dip in, and Fussell follows like right behind me, like really like awkwardly close behind me. Like he could probably like smell me. He was so close behind me. And I'm kind of like, what's this guy doing? And I walk outside and he comes out with me and he goes, hey, Narvaez, you ever killed anybody? I was like, no, can't say that I have, man. And he was like, oh, you think we'll get to when we're out there? I was like, I doubt it, dude. We're going to be doing detainee ops. So we're probably not going to see anything like that. He's like, damn. really wanted to kill somebody, just pow, points his hand at my head and just goes like, you know, like that to my head. He goes pow, just like that. Just want, you know, the brain to go all over my shirt. You know, some real gangsta shit. And this is like this little bitty Fussell. That's exactly what he said to me. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? I just kind of staring at him. I was like, no, I don't think that's gonna happen, man. Yeah, and that was the third time I thought he was crazy.
What do you say to him after that?
You really can't say nothing. You're just in shock. Because you're like, oh my gosh, this guy is nuts. And again, I had to sleep near that motherfucker. Sergeant Johnson, I think, didn't like me in the very beginning of the deployment because he always made me sleep near him and Juno. And I think he was secretly just trying to kill me or make me go crazy. One of the two. Luckily, I made it out, Sergeant Johnson. What now?
I think it's just testing your limits.
That had to have been it. He wanted to see how much of a soldier I was by sticking in with those two jokers.
Hey, at least you weren't in charge of Fussell.
Yeah, oh, poor Sergeant Jones. Actually, Sergeant Jones babied the shit out of him.
Poor me.
You were in charge of him?
The whole time in Bliss. When we landed in Bliss, he said, Solace, so Fussell is your responsibility. And then that's when I grew like 20 gray hairs.
I believe it. You killed 18 people. It's your fault, Solace. Yeah, we told you were in charge of him. They say that there's all these signs that lead up to, like, you know, the big obvious thing that happened. Like, for example, I know that didn't make any sense, but the major who shot a bunch of people at Fort Hood, they said there were all these signs that was going to happen, like it was obvious, but for some reason nobody spoke up. That's Fussell. When Fussell goes crazy and murders half of our company, everybody's going to be like, you know, I saw it happening. He was crazy. You know, I don't know. I guess I didn't say anything. That's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to be getting videos of that because he'll have killed everybody, and everybody's going to be like, yeah, you know, that motherfucker was nuts. I don't know why we didn't say nothing before.
I reported him plenty of times, and they just ignored me about it.
I want it on camera that I think you should report Fussell to mental health in case anything happens.
Well, here, get this on camera.
You need to send this video in.
I, Specialist Solace, have reported a minimum of 4 times that Private Fussell Clinton has showed signs of psychosis and have been denied my whatever.
And what's funny, I know we're laughing. This is no laughing matter, ladies and gentlemen. This motherfucker really is crazy.
Here's my Fussell story. At Earth Team, Camp Taji, I used to go like on a regular schedule for some reason. Like every time around, right after lunch, I'd go take a shit. Because I'd have to.
That's us? Oh, okay.
So, while I'm sitting in the porta potty shitting, I hear next to me, get those motherfuckers, goddamn motherfuckers. I hear all this mumbling. I'm like, who the hell is doing all that shit? So this happens 2-3 days in a row. So one day I decided to go out to the back of the LMTV and just wait and see who comes out of that fucking porta potty. And it's Fussell coming out of there.
Just talking to himself in the porta john, huh?
Every day. For about 4 or 5 days straight in a row. Talking about how he's going to strangle people. But he never says any names. He's like, kill that motherfucker. I'm going to kill him. Fucking motherfuckers won't fuck with me.
Just psyching himself up for the day? Golly.
So that's my Fussell.
That crazy gangster.
Wanna be.